Question number 2, determine the type of function, whether it's a constant function, direct variation linear function, or partial variation linear function, or other, based on the table of values. Okay, if it's a direct variation, okay, it means you have a straight line graph, which means a constant slope. Okay, direct variation also means it passes through the origin, it passes through 0, 0. Okay, so you're going to get an equation like y equals, ax, and that's it. Okay, and if it's a partial variation, we're going to get y equals ax plus b, where the b is some value other than 0. And if you have a constant function, you're just going to get y is equal to some constant. Okay, and then if you have an other, it just doesn't fall into those three categories. So let's take a look at A. We're going to figure out the rate of change for the first two sets of points, and then from that, we're going to get the rate of change. Then from that, we're going to get the equation. So delta y over delta x, I'm going to do 26 minus 17 over 8 minus 5, which gives us 9 over 3, which gives us 3. And then the slope for the rate of change for the next 2 points. So I'm looking at 826 and 1032. So 32 take away 26 is 6. 10 take away is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the rate of change is staying constant. Okay, so that means that we have a nice straight line graph. Okay, the rate of change is not increasing or decreasing, so we don't have a curve or anything. Okay, so we have a straight line graph, and the question is, well, we know it's not a constant function, okay, because the rate of change in a constant function is 0. So the rate of change is constant, but it's not a constant function, and we know it's increasing and all that, but we just don't know whether it's going through 0, 0. A couple of things we can do. One is we can take 0, 0 as a point, and then figure out what the slope would be, or the rate of change would be, between any point and that 0, 0. Okay? So we would end up with like 17 over 5, right? And then, but that wouldn't give you 0, 0. Okay? So, that wouldn't give you 3. So we know that 0, 0 isn't a point on this curve. Okay? That's one way of doing it. The other way is, well, we have a constant rate of change, and so we can say, okay, let's say y equals ax plus b. And then I'm going to solve for the b. So y is equal to ax plus b, and the a is 3. So y equals 3x plus b. And then I'm going to solve for b by taking any one of these points, like the 517, the 826, or the 1032, and replacing the x with the x value and the y with the y value. So I'm going to use 517. I'm going to replace the x with 5 and the y with 17. And we get 17 is equal to 3 times 5 plus b. Okay, which means b is 2, by the way, right? So I'm going to subtract, like 3 times 5 is 15, and subtract 15 from both sides, and b is 2. So that gives us, well, we know that's a partial variation, and the equation is y equals 3x plus 2. Okay, so we know right away, partial variation, it doesn't go through the origin, and so we have a nice oblique line, not going through the origin, so that's partial variation. For b, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find the slope. So 28 take away 12 over 7 take away 3, which is 16 over 4, which is 4. And then for 7, 28, and 12, and 48, I'm going to do 48 take away 28 divided by 12 take away 7, which is 20 divided by 5, which is 4 again. Okay, so we have a nice constant rate of change. So that means either we have a direct variation or a partial variation. We're just not sure which. Okay, now if I take any one of these points, right, and then subtract it from, and then use 0, 0 as a point, and find the rate of change, okay, like 12 take away 0 is 12, 3 take away 0 is 3, 12 divided by 3 is 4. We get a rate of change of 4. So we know this graph passes through the origin. Okay, so you can do that, or you can say y equals ax plus b, and we know that the a is 4, so y equals 4x plus b, and then I'm just going to use any value. I'm just going to take the first one, and y is equal to 12, and x is equal to 3, so 12 is equal to 4 times 3 plus b, and 4 times 3 is 12, so that means b must, if I subtract 12 from both sides, b is 0. So that means it's a direct variation. And the equation is y equals 4x. Okay, so this is a nice, oblique line that passes right through the origin. So for C, we're going to do that again. Delta y over delta x, so 45 take away 20 over 3 take away 2, which gives us 25 over 1. And so the slope is 25. And then I'm going to use these 2 points to figure out the rate of change, which is going to give us 30 over 2, which is 15. 15. Okay, we don't have a constant rate of change. That means we have some sort of curve situation, which is another. Okay, so stay tuned for part B. Have a good day.